Yo, we got the homie Michael and the influence here with us today. What's up?
What's going on? What's up, world?
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. All the way from Cleveland. So I know you born and raised.
Born and raised, Cleveland, Ohio, straight like that.
Yeah. What's that?
I'm from the east side, up the way, world.
Okay. So what is it like on the east side?
Oh, it's real. I'm about to say, like, pretty much it's real. Like you need to know where you at all times when you on that side of the city, pretty much. Yeah.
So it go down.
Yeah, it can. You in the right pocket. Yeah, it's liable to go down. But for the most part, Cleveland is a beautiful city. You know, in my summation, I think we get a bad rap nationally. You know what I'm saying? But Cleveland is a beautiful city. You know what I'm saying? The world is a ghetto, so it ain't no different than any place. You know what I'm saying? Where you might be at. So you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely real. I will say that we don't suffer fools lightly.
Man.
Sure.
And what do you think makes the east side different from the west side? Because is that a thing out there? Like, look, I'm from the east, I'm from the west. What makes it kind of different?
It is a thing out there in the city. As far as the east side and the west side, I think the demographics. You know what I'm saying? Like the east side is predominantly black.
Okay.
West side you have the whites, the Hispanics, blacks. It's way more gentrified and way more different nationalities on the west side than it is on the east, which makes for a different kind of way they move out there too on that side of town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So growing up, what you seen on the east side really influenced you? Would you say?
The thing that really influenced me growing up on the east side is, to be honest, the drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up I'm an '80s baby.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I grew up and when I was growing up, the crack era was prevalent. It was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was in my household. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much everywhere. And that was like the main influence as far as the city is concerned in my side of town. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole family lived on the east side, and it don't matter which one of my aunts or uncles' house I went to, it was going on over there. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a generational thing. If you ask me, it was a real live generational thing.
Man, and what age do you think you start paying attention? Like, man, this is what's going on. What age you think you start really comprehending? Like, this is what's going on in my household and my family. Period. It's something going on, and it's not all the way right.
I kind of remember I was like 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was 6 years old, and I got an older brother. You know what I'm saying? So I will always notice like my family, my parents, my mom and them. We lived with my mama. When her friends would come over, we got to go in our room and stuff like that. And I come out, I might come out, go to the bathroom or something, and it'd be a little weird in there, weird smells in there or whatever. And I go ask my brother, like, what mama got going on in there? And my brother, like, he told me what was going on. Like, yeah,
Wow.
Salt and Pepper had a little saying they said at the time, like, they getting hyped on the mic. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of like told me what was going on, and I'm like, oh, like that's what's going on. So yeah. My brother kind of he really told me exactly what was going on, and then I kind of understood it because it was everywhere to just say no to drugs. All that stuff was going on the TV and stuff like that. So I caught it. I'm like, oh, that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And how would you say like that kind of influenced just your upbringing per se? Like, with it being in your household, was it things that you lacked? You end up realizing like, man, I'm lacking this growing up.
Cause we already was living like pretty much on the brink of poverty. We welfare, Section 8 housing. You know what I'm saying? That was like that my whole life. So, but when you incorporate welfare and Section 8 housing, and then you add drug abuse to that, you know what I'm saying? Now it turns from, food in the refrigerator to ain't no food in the refrigerator. It turns from, a roof over our head to we getting evicted. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta move around. I gotta go stay with my grandmother, and I gotta go stay here, and all of this and that. It just really it really it changed me some. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It changed, especially when you a kid and you going through this. You like, I'm a kid. Like, why am I going through this at the time? So it changed me some, definitely.
Yeah. Did that ever cause for you to, figure out ways that where you end up getting into things that maybe you shouldn't have gotten into because your lack of having things
Yeah.
per se?
Yeah, I mean, when your household is like that, and and I got an older brother, and he's older and he's already in the streets, I end up, I become, raised by the streets. That's what pretty much happened. I'm outside, they outside selling drugs, and I'm a baby, but they outside selling drugs. I'm watching them. This is what is influencing me. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we end up at.
Nah, and it's somewhat like you might become a product of your environment. People think that's a joke when people say that, but what you see every day, you can end up getting in tune with. So I know you had went away for a second. Was part of that kind of what led you to going away for a second?
Yeah, like that's exactly what led me going away for a second. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, like, drugs played a big part of my life, my upbringing. I didn't know it at the time when I was growing up and I was younger, but the main thing that it was I was kind of like just acclimated to, you know what I'm saying, the drug life, the crime life, the street life, and I delved into that. You know what I'm saying? As I got a little older, I delved into it and I made it my profession. I didn't. It wasn't a hobby for me. It was a profession. So when it's your profession, you might end up with some time like I got. I ended up doing 10 years in prison for drug trafficking.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, that was that.
Man, and so during those 10 years though, it seemed like you really you had some time to think for sure, and you came up with a plan though, and you was like, when I get out, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get into music, media, and you did that. So tell me how you really created major influence media.
It was an idea I had, like, I was maybe 2-3 years in on my bit at the time, and I was, I always read. I read a lot before I went to prison. So when I was in prison, I was reading a lot more, and I'll be getting all type of. I'm always been money oriented, so I was getting all type of business magazines, right. Forbes, Money magazine. I'm reading Time magazine. I'm reading about titans of industry, and I seen where the world was headed as far as like technology and tech companies in Silicon Valley. And I said I wanted to do that because that's where the money was at. I seen where it was headed. So I'm like, well, how can I do it from my vantage point and my view? It's not people, that come from where I come from. They not in Silicon Valley, doing startups, you know what I'm saying? But it's still content. It's still, right. It's just about platforming it out a certain way. So my thought process was, how can I, be a voice for the voiceless? And and that's where Major Influence Media came from.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you after you got out to really get started on it though? Was it like an immediate thing, or did it take a while to kind of?
It was immediate. I came home. I had a mission. I was blessed to have a good, had good support while I was gone. So I was able to, pretty much put my plans in order as soon as I got out. Within a few months, we was up and running. I had podcasts going. I was producing podcasts, working in the studio, working on the album, working on music, working on documentaries we had going on. So it was pretty much, as soon as I got out. Like I only been home at this point. I'm only been home like 20 months now. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 20 months, you done put out a whole media company, podcast, YouTube, and really albums and staying focused. So I know the album Do You Believe Me? What was that with the title?
It's kind of like a playoff. It's a kind of like a play and a thought on faith. Do you believe is kind of like, first of all, if you have a dream, you know, you need to believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first things first. Like, everybody has a dream. Everybody has something they want to do and they want to be. You're not going to achieve that dream that you have your eyes set on if you don't believe in it first, because ain't nobody else going to believe in it. And it's also just a take on, like, my life, and my life and the things I done been through, especially when I was in prison. I'm like, damn, I'm in prison. I got 10 years. I got non-violent crime. Like, it's dudes that then murdered people that was going home before me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why did I end up with it? It made me question my faith. You know what I'm saying? My faith in God and everything. Mm-hmm. So when you going through things like that, you know, you get brought back. And, you know, I tell people like this, you know, when you live in hell, you either find God or become the devil. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I'm not the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I found God, and that was just like, when you going through the toughest of times, you need something to believe in, and that's where the title comes from. Do you believe?
Hey, I think it's dope. I gotta say, salute for coming home 20 months, being home only 20 months, and doing everything you said you would do. You know, a lot of people, they don't believe that you're gonna come home and do the things that you say you're gonna do and really put those foot forward. So I just want to say salute on that end. I think that's major. How do they check out the podcast? Where can they get the YouTube channel? Like, plug everything right
Plug
now.
everything.
Yes, plug everything right now.
Yeah, just real quick, you could catch Instagram. I'm influential_Michael. On Twitter @UpTheWayHove. Michael and the Influence on all streaming platforms, whatever you want to tap into on all streaming platforms. The music is right there. Michael and the Influence. Podcasts, all that stuff is under Major Influence Media. You tap in and out on YouTube. We got all the podcasts up and everything that we've been doing, the videos, stuff like that. YouTube, Michael and the Influence, all the videos that I done shot, stuff I've been having going on musically, the whole first album on there. That's it.
Yeah. So what else for 2021 you got coming?
Oh, we got a lot of stuff coming for 2021. After we get this album drop, we got like 3 more podcasts we about to drop new seasons of. Finishing work on this documentary that we've been having that's been in the can. We got a lot of hours of footage of that. We just cleaning up on the edits. Those are the main things we doing right now.
Man,
we just working on taking this thing global. You know what I'm saying? It's taking it global.
Definitely working. And like I said, once again, salute Michael and the Influence. I'm so glad to have you on 411 Uncut today. Keep grinding, and from here on out, we gonna support. We watching. You feel me? We watching everything you got going. We gonna repost the videos, the projects. We gonna support right here.
Thank you, and I appreciate your time.
Period.